Welcome back, JCW fans. I am Kendo, and this is Lunacy Recaps Review. In this video, I'm going to be going over Lunacy, episode 82, airing May 14th, 2026. This episode featured Joe Dombrowski and Mark Roberts on commentary. The ring announcer for the evening was Kid Cadet. Before I get into this video, if you could please take a quick moment to hit that thumbs up like button. Only takes a quick second, it's right down below. Also, if you could drop some comments along the way, I'd like to know your opinions on each match, each segment. And if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. All this helps get this video out to more people. So with all that being said, let's get into this week's episode. Alright, so this week starts off with Choppa City thinking they're going to celebrate back in the parking lot, but they end up getting the beat down from Too Tough Tony and Willie Mack. Basically, they just beat them senseless all over the parking lot, just hitting them with all sorts of random stuff, signs, throwing them into the dumpsters, whatnot. They end up putting them on some carts here. Yeah, this part's pretty funny. And basically, they just grab their titles back and say, hey, that shit ain't gonna happen. Willie Mack hits them with a whoop whoop, and they storm off. All right, next we cut backstage. Caleb Conley informs Violent J that Russo is in a very, very important meeting for the evening, and he has left Caleb Conley there to be Violent J's assistant. Violent J isn't too happy about that at all. For one, not telling him about the meeting. And two, he is not interested in having Caleb Conley be his assistant. Caleb says, look, Russo said if I go into business for myself, there's going to be major consequences. So basically, I'm just here to support and help you. The Green Phantom then comes in, and basically Violent J tells him that he needs to get this win tonight. If he doesn't get the win, then that's basically going to be it for his time at JCW. Green Phantom goes on to say he's not sure what's been going on, and basically as long as there's no bees involved, he'll be all right. Violent J said there's not going to be bees involved, but there will be pizza. He informs him that he's going to be fighting Luigi Primo tonight, and that if he loses, he might want to get a job being a pizza boy. Next up, we have Mac Davis backstage, and he's wanting to know what's up with Danny Moe and her actions at Stranglemania. Danny Moe basically tells him that it's always been about the title for her, and that's the most important thing to her, and basically that he wouldn't understand. All right, the opening match is going to be the Green Phantom, and as we already know, the Green Phantom is taking on Luigi Primo. But before this match starts, the evil Professor Mike comes out, and he attacks Luigi Primo. He basically tells the Phantom that how dare he come to the 505, the land of the evil Professor Mike, and not try to fight him because they apparently is his arch nemesis. So he basically wants to take the match, and that pretty much ends up happening. I think Mike does do a little quick gimmick after the agreement. They try to become friends there. Yeah, like we can see. Tries to get a quick roll up. That doesn't work. This is a pretty quick match like the one before. The Green Phantom does get in some stuff though. A couple nice chops there in the corner. Professor Mike hits the big elbow. Green Phantom throws him up. He gets the 10 in the corner there. Yeah, so this match a little bit better. I do believe they're calling it the Phantasm. So, I mean, if they're giving him a finishing move, I think that they're probably going to keep him around, regardless if he wins or loses this match. But as you can see, Luigi Primo with a distraction. Mosh Pit Mike rolls him up. 1, 2, sloppy 3, but still, nonetheless, another loss for Green Phantom. All right, next is Barnabas backstage, and he's looking for Jackson and Abel. He smells something in the air, goes back, and he sees that the boys are back there smoking a big old blunt. Barnabas basically freaks out because he doesn't know who is supplying Jackson and Abel with all these products. Right, we then get another vignette from Father Brownfin. He is again talking about the red roll call, and it appears in this vignette he is targeting none other than Facade, who is next on the list. So I guess when next time we see Father Bronson, Facade better watch out. Next we get J-Rod, and she is basically asking Violet J if she can be the special guest referee in the match tonight against Danny, Mo, and Big Al. Violent J says he doesn't see how that's good for anybody, so that's going to be a hard no. J-Rod doesn't seem to be too thrilled about that, and she basically ends up storming off the bus. Barnabas and then comes in, and he's crying that he needs a tag team match or a tag match because the boys are out of control, and the only way he can think to get them to stop is to beat it out of them. He wants to see if he can get a match against Future Endeavor. Violent J also tells him that he has no control over Matt Cross or anything that Future Endeavor does, so it's going to be a hard no on that too. Violent J is just dishing out no's left and right. Next, we get an on the ramp segment with Mac Davis, and he's calling out Jeeves to come on out. So Jeeves comes out and he basically just puts himself over for a few minutes, which was cool. The crowd showed him a lot of love. He ends up calling out EC3. EC3 comes out and he's basically talking about how he has enjoyed his time in JCW. He talks some shit about the other wrestling federations, WWE, AEW, and he clowned on NWA pretty hard too. Basically just talking shit. He hits the crowd with a whoop whoop, and because he's never cussed before, a big fuck. Right next is Barnabas backstage, and he figures since Caleb Conley is Russo's representative, he can maybe get the match for him tonight. Caleb basically says, look, I'll see what I can do. And again, Barnabas just wants to get the addiction beat out of Jackson and Abel. So again, Caleb says he's going to see what he can do for him. And apparently he was able to do it because they got the match, and this one's going to be Future Endeavors versus The Outbreak. And Barnabas is basically saying that he's not happy about this at all. It's kind of just tough love, I guess. And he just wants to get the addiction beat out of Jackson and Abel because he doesn't know what else to do. Somebody's supplying them, and he's going to try and figure it out. But until then, he's going to beat it out of them. They basically just say, Barnabas, if that's what you want, your wish is our command. And they commence to basically just beat the fuck out of Jackson and Abel. The Outbreak does get a little bit of offense, not too much, because every time that they try to get something going, it just seems like they get shut down with huge power moves like this right here. Shane Mercer is no joke. As I said in last week's video, Future Endeavors is going to be a team to be reckoned with. I wouldn't be surprised if they got the titles put on them fairly quick. Tony and Willie better look out because this team is just going to be unstoppable. I mean, unless they're just going to use them to be basically Russo's little control system, and they don't even put them in the title runnings. But either way, they're going to be a badass team. And as you can see, they're even working together. Good teamwork there, on the same page, just delivering devastating maneuver after maneuver. The Outbreak really don't stand a chance in this one. But it was a pretty decent match, a lot of big time moves. Throwing, I do believe that's Jackson in there. No, that's Jackson in there. Matt Cross is whipping him around. Abel comes with a save there. And I do believe this one's going to be wrapping up shortly here. We go for a 3 count. Figure maybe both of them lay on there, stack them up. Big time reversal. Look, this maneuver right here, very impressive. Very powerful. Shane Mercer is a beast. Nice little double team again. Matt Cross and Shane Mercer are working very well together. And this is basically the end of the match here. Outbreak go to the crowd. They're basically hinting to the crowd, trying to find a beer. They're addicted. They need some type of fix, basically. And here's your winner's future endeavors. Next up is a segment with Mac Davis backstage with Violent J. Basically, Violent J is just saying that he's pretty pissed off that Russo's not there and that Russo went and had a big meeting, didn't tell him nothing about it. Caleb Conley comes in and Joe basically tells him, look, fucked up that you made that match after I said it wasn't going to happen. And, you know, he's just pretty pissed off about that. In the end, Violent J just ends up storming off. Shortly after Violent J storms off, J-Rod comes in and asks Caleb for the special guest ref spot. And Caleb seems to think that's a good idea and that's going to be good for ratings, and he agrees to it. Next up is going to be that match. So it's going to be Danny Moe. And Danny Moe is going to be taking on Big Al, Alice Crawley. And the special guest referee is J-Rod. Basically, Big Al just is asking for answers for what happened to Stranglemania. She ends up throwing the mic to Danny Moe. But before Danny Moe can even answer, J-Rod comes and interrupts. And basically the match gets started. This was a damn good match. Both ladies, you know, got their shit in. And you know, a lot of power moves, a lot of high action moves, fast pace. Not sure. I'd say this was probably match tonight in my opinion. You know, both of these ladies can go, and again, because you know they're friends and they've worked together for so long, the chemistry in ring, in my opinion, is just great. And you can see it now, a little lace back and forth there. Goes for the 3 count, only gets a 2. Big Al delivering some big forearms and a kick. Nice suplex there. Drops her. Goes for the 3. And you can see J-Rod here goes to hit her with the brass knuckles. And what ends up happening here is Big Al blasts her with the brass knuckles. Then she blasts Danny Moe. With both women passed out, she grabs J-Rod's hand and counts the 1, 2, 3. So I guess here is your winner, Big Al. All right, next we have Violent J, and he is telling Caleb Conley that he does not think too highly of him, and he definitely does not like the fact of how he has been taking control tonight of the show with the whole Barnabas and J-Rod thing. He tells him, as a matter of fact, since he, you know, wants to act this way, he's going to put him in a 4-week challenge. So basically the next 4 weeks, Caleb Conley is going to have a mystery guest, and the mystery guest is going to be somebody who is outside of JCW. So who knows who that could be? I'm actually looking forward to this one and to see who they're going to bring in to throw up against Caleb Conley. All right, next up is Barnabas backstage looking for Jackson and Abel. Max says, hey, look, I seen them over there siphoning gas out of my car. And now, if you look just over there, they are siphoning gas out of a fan's car. And so Barnabas runs up on the boys and sees that they're in there. The fans, it's funny because the fans in the car look terrified. They got Jackson and Abel in there trying to siphon gas. Barnabas basically says he's going to find the dealer next week and he's going to get to the bottom of all this. All right, next is a quick clip of the Brothers of Construction on their way to the ring, and they're being extra careful. All right, the next match is the main event, and this is the newly formed team of PCO teaming up with the new Stephen Flo, the bad guy Stephen Flo, accompanied by the Ring Rat. And they are going to be taking on the Brothers of Construction, who are also in the clown gimmick again. Second week in a row, I do believe now. So Stephen Flo takes the cock, throws that bad boy out the ring. For that, he gets a couple big tie chops, I guess you will call them, and a noogie for his time. Throws him into the big rough old clown boot. Nice little double team by the Brothers of Construction here. This was a good match too. You would think with I'm not going to say that because anyway, it was a good match. The Hulk hand PCO just kind of shook it off. I don't know. I just feel like that they should have put Stephen Flo on a nice little heel run by himself and not put him up with another tag team partner right away, since he just got off a tag team run with Cocaine. And, you know, they're making him a heel now, basically. Just my opinion. Anyway, still, like I said, a great match. Lots of good spots. PCO has a lot of good power moves, as we can see right here. Drops Ruffo. Bam, right on his head. Goes for the 3. Ruffo's able to kick out. Boom, delivers that big boots. Gets the hot tag to Yabo. They beat the fuck out of PCO. But still, no giving PCO. Took a lot to get the big man down. Stephen Flo gets a little bit of revenge off the top there, taking out Yabo and Ruffo. Ring Rat gives him the guitar, and it looks like he's about to use it, but Cocaine ends up coming out. Cocaine steals the guitar. I'm not too sure what happened, because PCO just took off. Maybe he just took off because he wasn't trying to cheat to win. But anyway, Cocaine beats him up, takes him out of the way, and in the confusion, Big Vito ends up coming out, and Vito basically just attacks the Brothers of Construction with the kendo stick, puts a pretty bad beating down on him. Ruffo, more than anybody, gets it, chokes him out a bit. I do believe he ends up getting the kendo stick again. Yeah, beats Ruffo down, and he threw Yabo out, so Yabo's pretty much out for the night. He drags Ruffo back all the way backstage, and I guess we're going to find out what happens. And we do find out what happens right away. Vito's got a car out back ready to go, and he basically drags Ruffo out to the car, and this is how this week's episode's going to end. They throw him into the trunk and basically just drive off. And I guess we'll find out what happens with Ruffo next week. All right, overall, I thought this week's episode was pretty good. It was kind of segment heavy. They've done that a lot, but there was a lot to get across in this episode. You had the 2 segments with Barnabas and J-Rod, and then basically, so 4 segments total there, and a few other little things too in the back. But anyway, yeah, pretty good episode. I'd probably give it about a 7 out of 10. I would have liked to see more with the Green Phantom. Who knows, again, what they're going to do with him. Like I said in the match, I would have liked to see Stephen Flo have more of a monster heel run by himself. Again, coming off the tag team with Cocaine, I just thought it was weird putting him with another tag team partner. Also, just my speculation, but I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. I think Mac Davis might be the supplier for Barnabas and the Outbreak. Well, obviously not for Barnabas, but for Jackson and Abel. Just my speculation, but I'm going to go ahead and throw old Mac Davis under the bus. Another thing I enjoyed about this week's episode was it was good to see Cocaine getting some revenge on Stephen Flo. It seems like the past month or so, it's been Stephen Flo just fucking over Cocaine, and then Cocaine forgiving him, and Stephen Flo doing it over and over. So it was good to see Cocaine get some revenge finally. That's going to wrap it up for this week's recap review. If you haven't done so, please hit that like button. In the comments, let me know what you think about each match, each segment, and the show overall. And please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me get this video out to more people. Until next week, I am Kendo. Peace and whoop whoop.